So you put your money in a bank and you just expect it to be safe, right? But have you ever stopped to think about what actually makes it safe? Is it this idea of a giant vault just piled high with cash? Well, today we're going to dig into what really keeps a bank stable and your money secure. And let me tell you, the answer? It's probably not what you think. Okay, let's just jump right in with a little puzzle to get our heads around this. Get this, you've got a bank with 900 euros in deposits. You know, money people can pull out at any second. But in its vault, it's only got 50 euros in actual cash. So what happens if everyone, and I mean everyone, asks for their money back at the exact same time? Can it possibly survive? I mean, on the surface, that sounds like a big no way, right? Well, let's see.
At its core, the entire banking system is really built on one single powerful thing: trust. It's like a promise. For the whole shipping to work, we all have to believe, really believe, that our money is there for us whenever we ask for it. The second that trust gets a little shaky, even for a moment, the entire structure can start to wobble.
So that money you've got in your checking or savings account, there's a technical name for it, a demand deposit. And that word demand is everything. It means you can demand your money back right now with zero warning. Now think about that from the bank's perspective. Your savings are basically an unpredictable IOU. That means the bank has to be super flexible, or what they call liquid, to handle those sudden requests for cash. Okay, so if you've got all this unpredictability, what's the obvious fix? Well, a lot of people land on what seems like a totally common sense solution. Just make the banks keep 100% of all deposit money as physical cash, right? Lock it away in the vault. If there's 900 euros in deposits, there should be 900 euros in cash sitting right there. I mean, that sounds bulletproof, doesn't it? But, and this is a big but, here's where we're going to poke some holes in that popular idea. Because that simple, seemingly perfect solution, it's pretty much a myth. We're about to break down exactly why holding 100% cash isn't the magic fix for bank safety that everyone thinks it is. All right, here's the absolute heart of the argument. A 100% cash reserve is, get this, neither sufficient to guarantee a bank's safety, nor is it necessary for a bank to be safe. It's a bit of a mind bender, I know, so let's unpack that. We'll start with why it's not even enough. So why isn't it enough? Well, here's the thing. Your deposit isn't the only IOU a bank has. They have other debts, other creditors they owe money to. So let's play this out. Imagine the bank does have a 100% cash reserve, but then for some other reason, it can't pay back a huge loan and goes bankrupt. Legally, that cash reserve doesn't have a special VIP sign on it just for depositors. Nope. It gets tossed into one giant pool of assets, and all the creditors, depositors included, have to line up to get a piece. Suddenly, that cash cushion you thought was yours could disappear. Okay, that's why it's not enough. But honestly, here's the part that really messes with your head. It's not just that it isn't sufficient, it's not even necessary for a bank to be safe. A bank can be rock solid without it. How is that possible? Let's walk through a scenario to see it in action. All right, we're going to put a hypothetical bank through the ringer. This is the ultimate stress test, the worst case scenario you always hear about, a full-blown bank run. We're talking every single person who put money in the bank shows up at the front door at the exact same time and says, "Give me my money back now." So let's look at the books for our little bank. It's pretty simple. On the right side, you've got its liabilities. See that? It owes 900 euros to its depositors. That's money it could have to pay back today. Now look at the left side. Its assets. It's only got 50 euros in cash. Its main asset, its most valuable thing, is 950 euros in really good loans. But, and here's the killer, those loans aren't due to be paid back for another month. You see the problem? The timing is all off. That mismatch is where the crisis begins. And then, bam, the crisis hits. The doors fly open. All those depositors are here, and they're demanding their 900 euros. Not in a month, not tomorrow. They want it now. The bank manager frantically checks the vault, and there's only 50 euros in cash. Just 50. They need to come up with another 850 euros, like yesterday. So what do? Is this it? Is the bank just toast? Well, not so fast. A well-managed bank isn't a one-way street. It doesn't just have a front door. It has a few very important emergency exits. There are some powerful tools a bank can use to get its hands on cash in a hurry, even when the vault looks empty. So, what are these secret escape routes? Well, there are basically three main ways to survive this kind of storm.
The bank can sell its assets, it can borrow money, or it can try to cut a new deal with its depositors. Let's dive into the first and, honestly, the most powerful option. Okay, remember that big asset the bank has, that 950 euros in short-term loans? Turns out that's its secret weapon. These aren't junk loans. They're high-quality promises from people who are going to pay up in just 1 month. So, what the bank can do is go out into the open market and sell those promises, the loans themselves, to other investors for cold, hard cash today. Now, you might be sitting there thinking, hold on, who on earth would buy a loan in the middle of a bank panic? Well, just do the math with me for a second. The bank needs 850 euros. It's selling an asset that's guaranteed to be worth 950 euros in just 30 days. For an investor, that's an incredible profit on a super safe, super short-term investment. They wouldn't just be interested in that deal, they'd be lining up, fighting each other for it. It's a no-brainer. And look, selling the loans isn't even the only play. The bank has other lifelines. It could just use those super valuable loans as collateral, like putting your house up for a loan, and just borrow the 850 euros it needs. Or, and this one's clever, it could go straight to the crowd of nervous depositors and say, hey, instead of taking your money out, why don't you leave it in for just 1 more month and we will pay you a crazy high interest rate for it, like 11.5%. All of a sudden, you've turned a panicked depositor into a very, very happy investor. Okay, but wait a minute. Selling a 950 euro asset for 850 euros, that's a 100 euro loss. Who eats that cost? This is where that other number on the balance sheet, the owner's capital or equity, becomes absolutely crucial. That 100 euros, that's the bank's financial cushion. Its entire purpose in life is to be a shock absorber. It takes the hit from unexpected events so the depositor's money is completely protected. The owners lose, not the customers. That's how it's designed to work.
So when you pull it all together, you start to see the picture, right? The true safety net for a bank, the thing that really catches it when things get rough, has almost nothing to do with how much physical cash is sitting in the vault. So what's the key lesson here? Well, bank safety really boils down to 3 things. First, having liquid assets. And that doesn't just mean cash. It means high-quality, short-term assets that you can sell in a flash. Second, asset quality. You got to make sure the loans you make are actually to people who are going to pay you back. No garbage loans. And third, sufficient capital. You need that strong equity buffer, that shock absorber, to handle any losses that come your way. That, right there, is the real recipe for a safe bank. So it kind of leaves us with this bigger question, doesn't it? What if we've been looking for safety in all the wrong places? What if real financial stability isn't actually about the piles of gold or cash in a vault, but about the quality and the integrity of the promises we make to each other? Now that's something to chew on.